Kia ora, e te whānau nau mai, haere mai, welcome. Thank you for being here for another session of Kapu Tī with WE. Today we are talking to Adrian Evans from the Gentry. You may have seen him last week. He was on the breakfast show in the morning as well. So let's just get straight into it. Kia ora, Adrian.
Kia ora, Wendy.
And how are you doing tonight?
Oh, look, good. It's been a busy comeback from lockdown, and we've been cranking in the barbershop, 2 barbershops. So yeah, feeling buoyant actually to be back doing what we love.
And so just for our viewers out there, poor Adrian literally just got home, downed a couple of pieces of toast. He's got his coffee in hand and he's ready to go. So, you know.
Oh my gosh.
You've got your cup of coffee, I got my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So thank you. I know that it's been pretty hard out for you, just getting back from lockdown number 2, 2 3 weeks worth of clients that you're now trying to rebook in and cram in. So long nights for you, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, look, we're lucky that we do have clients to pick up and help try and capture some of that revenue. But yeah, so obviously when you take 3 weeks out of the month where we're got rent to pay across 2 sites and barbers to pay, so yeah, it hurts, but look, we're just glad to be back and need to make the most of this now.
Yep, absolutely. So Adrian, tell me a little bit about how you got into barbering and then how you got into starting the Gentry.
Oh well, man, that story goes all the way back to boarding school, actually, at Tipene, when I was 4th form at the time, and I was before a school social, and one of my mates said, "Hey man, you can draw, bro, can you give me a haircut? You can cut a straight line." True story.
You can draw, so you can come here.
You can cut a straight line, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Back then we used to use a shoelace, tie it around and just cut to that and then try and blend out the line. Probably wouldn't work these days. No, it does. But that's where it started, and then I went to met a hairdresser in the city who owned a salon, Brian King, Māori fella from up north, and then he introduced me to Seville's, and then from there the journey in the hair industry started. And I always liked it. I was always a social guy and creative, and just met great people along the way, including my wife, and it's taken me around the world, and then we came back. And got into barbering when I returned to NZ back in 2004, and been in the industry since. Although there was a small, probably a 5-year hiatus when I took off the journalism for a bit, but I always kept a core group of clients that I was looking after on the side. And then 5 years ago, bought what was then a small barbershop on Shortland Street, and turned it around, rebranded it, and sort of refocused the market. And here we are, 2 shops later, doubled the size of the team and the headache, and and that's where we are. We're growing, and I know it's going to be a tough climb out of this hole for the next, who knows, 5 years or so, but I've got good people around me, including you guys. We're accounting. I've got great business mentors, so I'm confident that we've got something that resonates with people, and we'll just keep pushing.
So you said that when you started the Gentry, you bought barbershop, which is now obviously your shop on Shortland Street. So why did you buy instead of like just buying in a place and refitting it out yourself? Like what was the thinking around that?
Well, actually, I'd had connections into that shop prior to I owned 50% of it back in 2006, 7 and 8, but fell out with my business partner. Well, he was just a hard guy to get along with, and so that's when I went off to journalism and uni. So when I was looking at coming back in, I felt like I had unfinished business there. And it came at a time I was looking around. I was trying to start my own. I was looking at leases in the city, and I was literally 12th hour about to sign a lease down in Chancery, and he called me up.
Wow.
And said, I hear you're looking to buy, or you're looking to get back in. I want to sell the shop. I'm moving to Melbourne, and we should catch up. And so I'd seen it on the market. He wanted too much, but I was able to get it for a much better price. And that made sense to me. I knew the area. I knew the shop. I was familiar with it. It was a great shop, great location. I always felt like it never reached its full potential. Now we've maxed it out. We've opened another one. So yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad. Location's great.
So what exactly did you do in terms of changing it? Like, what was your vision for it, and what did you have to do to make, to see out your vision?
Okay, I changed the name, changed the furniture. It was all a little bit sort of salon style because he was doing men's and women's. So we got the men's barber chairs in, and changed the flooring, furniture, beer fridge, online booking
Yeah.
for the guys. They were used to the old pen and paper, but I just felt like the next step was to create that, because that was the market, that was the target market or clientele or audience. They're all lawyers, professionals, and they're all online. And yeah, that was probably the first big success, was providing online booking for my guys.
And that's been quite big for you too, because I know that when you were in the first lockdown, we talked a lot about your online booking. So what did you do coming out of lockdown number one that helped to boost your sales and, just help you to get out of that kind of, I guess, dip? Because it was, what, 7, 8 weeks of no customers, you couldn't do anything.
No customers. Yeah, that's right. No customers, no cash flow. We'd locked up the books. We didn't want people booking, randomly and having to juggle them around. So once we got the what do you call it, the date from the Prime Minister, we were able to, through the online booking platform, message and email everybody. This will be our opening date. Our book will go live on days before, and we it also timed it nicely with the launch of an online pay system that our providers came up with, and I was one of the first to run it. And that was huge because we made all bookings compulsory to pay online in advance, and we were able to get a massive cash injection, which just blew me away. I had been thinking about the idea of making an online a payment platform. I'd looked at it with Windcave and other pay services and the bank, and although there was security issues around it, it was going to probably be a little bit clunky. But once the online booking providers came up with the software and all the back end, we were just able to press go, and it was huge. In fact, it changed my mind about those things, because I felt like, is that too pushy to ask for payment in advance? But the feedback was just overwhelming from clients. They're like, leave it. I'd rather pay online. I'd rather pay in advance. In fact, I'll buy 5 in advance. So to have these massive cash dumps into our bank account before we even opened was massive. Yeah, and
That's cool.
good for confidence as well. That people, to me, it was actually a sign that people endorsed us, and trusted us, that they'd pay up front. Yeah, it was great.
And pay for ones to come even. Like, how many barbershops are out there doing that?
Yeah, oh, it's great. I mean, I don't know how we continue to ask for that, because I quite like it. But yeah, that was again, overwhelming that people would even think of us on that level, that they want to support us. I suppose it was backed by all of the support local messaging that was out there. But pretty cool. And not just me, but other barbers in the shop too. So I could actually hero them and say, Mark's just paid for 6 months in advance with you, dude. So, you need to look after him. I know you look after Mark, but you just need to take it to the next level now, and show him some love.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. Great for team morale too. We're at a time when team morale can kind of go a little bit like this, everyone's at home, feeling the pressure, wondering about job security, and the next thing you know, they've got clients that are booking them up for the next 6 months.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, team morale is a big one at the moment. Yeah, really working on it. And I try and do that every meeting. If someone's had some great feedback, or in fact, I've stopped waiting for meetings because often I forget by the time the weekly meeting comes around. So I will just screenshot it and chuck it up on our WhatsApp page to the boys straight away, and like Jeff, you're the man today. Hands up. Here's a screenshot of Jeff's. One of his clients just heroed him. So yeah, it's about quick ball, get it, pass it on to the boys. Yeah.
Is really crucial too, right? Especially if it's coming in regularly or whatever, just that boost for the day has got to be good for all of the team.
Oh yeah, and it's I love seeing all the banter. The boys chucking around. Yeah, well, awesome job, Jeff, or give someone else a turn, man. You're taking all the kudos. So yeah, it is good. It is good, and yeah, it's just I'd rather than me tell them how good they are. I'd rather it come from their clients. I think there's no better endorsement. Yeah.
That's so true.
Mm.
Let's talk about lockdown 2. You're on the
Yep.
breakfast show just recently, and
Mm-hmm.
I really have to applaud you for getting on national TV and sharing about the trials and the tribulations and the struggles that not only you are going through, but small businesses are going through. And Ali and I were talking about this, and just big ups for a brother who can get on TV and go, you know what, actually, yeah, things aren't going so good, because our men don't really talk about it enough, I don't feel. And so I felt that you really opened up a space for men in particular, women too, but I think we probably will talk about it more than men. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say big kudos to you for standing up and sharing.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was true. It came from the heart, that one. And look, we're still going through it, and I'm pretty lucky that having followed that interview, I've got a lot of support from friends and family at wide, but it's also made me reach out to a person who's been, pretty special for me in the last couple of years, guiding me through some stuff when I was just having, challenges or struggles. So, but also talking to my mates about it, and they've all come around me big time. But one that I'm really excited about is a guy who I went to school with, and he's a counsellor, and he is. I've invited him to come in and talk to my team about that stuff, about the whole sort of mental health space, and then from there's the opportunity that we can start to talk about the modi of the team and the wairua and all that stuff. And once we talk about that stuff, we can really start to sort of bring together what we're about, because I think in the last 6 months we've grown very fast, and kind of I'm not sure if all other businesses experience this when they grow, but you can grow from your first concept now into the second concept, and maybe along the way you've lost track or lost sight of what things were about back then, or new people don't understand the culture and the story. So it's time to sit down and have a corridor around that and reshape it, or actually just, for me, say to the boys, this is how it is, this is what I believe it is, but everyone's bringing this new thing to it now, so that we can almost create this foundation, or reformulate what that's about. And he's pretty good in that space. And when we start sort of what do you call it, lining that up with, I'd love to line it up, and I will, with sort of Māori concepts like modi and wairua, then we can really start to galvanise the team. And I think that'll be something really powerful for the Gentry in times as challenging as we are now.
It is really incredible how we have Māori concepts that we can bring into business that just bring a whole holistic, view to business, and it just is so much more than just trading or providing a service or value. It's just so much deeper and more meaningful, which really can help in that space, I think, around mental health and well-being.
Oh yeah, big time. And it's there for everybody. It's not exclusively Māori. It's unique to our country. There's no other barbershops in the world that can, try to attempt to do this stuff. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do that. I want to be that. And that's a space I'm really comfortable in. And I feel my best when I'm in that space. And yeah, I just, I don't know the whole whakatauki, but I think of it often, Se Apirana Ngata's whakatauki of, walking in both worlds. And don't forget your sort of roots and all of that, but learn, gain knowledge as well from the Western world and walk with confidence in both. So we can combine those, and we see it now. Lots of corporates do it, lots of big organizations do it because they know there's value in it, and it builds teams. It builds teams really well. The All Blacks, the greatest team out of New Zealand, use a lot of those concepts, and it's taken them to the top. Yeah.
It's real cool. And what's even cooler is that your small business, it's like you're not corporate, but you can still do that, and probably more agile. So it's easier for you to weave that kaupapa, into your kaupapa, to make that who you are, and the essence of your being. It's so much easier as a small business.
Oh yeah. And having the connections I do all the way back from that humble boarding school in the Bombay Hills, a lot of the brothers there, we were all great storytellers there when we were all little BS artists, but now they actually do that as a living, and whether through kapahaka or whatever. And so I've already collaborated with them and I've said, hey bros, I want you to come on board and tautoko and awhi my business. You've reached out and said, hey, how can I help? I mean, you do this, bro. I want you to come and talk to my team, and you want to, and you do that. So come and talk to my team about these other concepts. And they're keen as to do it because it awhi's me, but it also promotes our culture and takes it to another level, into another space. So it's all about storytelling and sharing, and that's kind of what barbering's about. Storytelling. We listen to a lot of stories, and sharing. It's a big part of what we do. But now I want to put my barbers kind of in the chair, and not counsel them, but like, hey man, here's some gifts that we can use. Here's some taonga that we can use, and that'll set us apart. And yeah, because we can train for haircuts and do product training, but this other stuff, man, it gets right in here. Yeah, so that's what it's about.
That personal growth piece, you've been given, and then suddenly, it's just being shared, and our people in our communities are all gaining from this one piece. Was like one little taonga that somebody shared with you that you were able to share with somebody else.
Yeah, one phone call, one Facebook Messenger phone call with my bro last week, and I'm just on this tangent, and my waka's going to go fast. I want it, so I want to put all the boys on it too. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. So let's step outside of COVID. You've started the second shop, which we know is not easy, and you did it in the middle of two lockdowns. But talk us through, because I know that this was a goal of yours. We talked about this at the beginning of last year. You said you wanted to have this shop in Commercial Bay, and that was your big dream for the next 5 years. And the next thing we know, it's happening in like 16 months time, later. So talk me through your goals and how it sort of came about, and what you did to make your dream come true.
Yeah, well, there's lots. Whenever you're chasing your goals, there's lots of no's along the way. There's lots of doors getting slammed in your face, and you've just got to be creative and look for ways. My goal was to get down there, expand, grow the business, create it, and build a cool team. I think though, and obviously be financially viable and successful for sure. But I found along the way that all of the no's made me better. Every time there was an obstacle or a hurdle, I had to be creative. I had to, as you were saying before, be agile. If it was yes, yes, yes all the way, it would have been too easy. I wouldn't have learnt anything. I've learnt more in the last 12 months than I've learnt probably in the last 5 years. And I'm really lucky that I have some really great business minds that sit in my chair, and they just encourage me all the way. They tell me that, I think one of the big ones was I'd been through so many cycles with the lease, and I'd said no, I'd walked away from it. And then people came back on board and said, okay, look, we can support you to this extent. And then the numbers came back really good. And then I was still like, what do you call it? Apprehensive. But then in the end, people are saying, man, now the risk is not doing it. You've gone down the path so far now, it's not doing it, and everyone could see the potential. So yeah, I mean, sometimes there's gold when in no, there's gold in getting the door slammed in your face, and you grow and you learn from it. And what I've found is what you thought was hard yesterday will be easy tomorrow. Yeah, man, that one, man, there's been quite a few moments where I thought, oh man, this is it. You're crying. I'm crying, like tears inside. Like, I've wasted 6 months. It's not going to come off. And then you wake up the next day and there's just a little shift or something, or I don't know, someone just says one little thing and then boom, you can turn it. You can see a crack. There's an opportunity. Go for it. Get it. It comes to you. But then I also believe that there's a rhythm to these things as well. So yeah, never accept the first offer. That's what I found out. Never accept the first offer. Say no, walk away, comes back to you. Yeah.
I like that. There was so much gold in there. Like, there's gold in no. And I think sometimes we think, I got to know, or that didn't work. Oh, that means it's not supposed to happen. But, someone's just commented resilience, and that's what it is. Yeah. And real belief in what it is that you're doing and the value that you can add to people, and, what it is that you want to achieve and your purpose in life, and thinking, no, it will happen. I obviously just have to learn something here. What is it that I need to learn, or, what do I need to change or shift so that the next time I ask, it's a yes?
Yeah, that's right. Or make it yes. Make them say yes. Just be so compelling that they have to say yes. And also having good people on your team too, that helps. I mean, I think there was a phone call there where I, was almost ready to not chuck it in, but walk away, and didn't want to turn up to one of our sessions. And you called me up, and I was like, oh no, she's calling me. Oh no, what do I do? What do I do? I'm sitting in my car outside daycare. I'm like, no, I don't want to come. Hello.
Get your ass here now.
Pretty much. So, I had to own up, and I told too many people along the way about my hopes and dreams, and they're all holding me accountable to it, including you guys. Yeah. So tell people, and they'll hold you accountable.
People. And you have no other option.
Nowhere to hide. Yeah.
I don't want to be a liar, so I guess I better do it.
Yeah.
Someone's asking if you've planned for a ladies' shop going forward.
No, not at this stage. No. Always looking for female barbers though. Yeah. Do
men like female barbers?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. It does change the vibe in the shop. I think there's a balance to it, and it depends on what sort of shop you want. But I'm talking to a couple now that I'd like to, certainly like to bring on board, but we just got to see how things land after the whole COVID and lockdown stuff. Where we get back to. But should be a real asset. Another girl I was the first on my list. Actually, I chased, and we had lots of great conversations at the beginning of the year, but she just chose to stay where she was. But she's a real talent. Yeah, I think sometimes they balance it out and keep the boys in line. Depends on what sort of mix you got in the team as well. Yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So tell me, looking back on your journey so far, the 5 years that you've been in the Gentry, building your business, the 2 shops that you have now, what are like some of the lessons that you would like other people to learn from what you've done? Like these, don't do these things. This is what I've learned. Do these things.
Yeah, look, don't be afraid to invest in your team. Get good accountants for sure, top of the list. Get good advisors, trusted people. Everyone's got an opinion, but there's a lot of what do you call it? A lot of noise out there.
Yeah.
What are some of the you get scars along the way. What are some of the big mistakes? Oh, read the lease. Yep, that's a good one. Read the lease. I was about to go down one pathway and invest in a whole new heat pump system. And then one day, one of my clients says to me, "Are you sure that's in? Check your lease." I read, and I was literally had quotes in front of me for $8,000 and was going to spend $8,000 on fixing the heat pump and all this stuff. And then, what the? It's not even my heat pump. It's it's the landlord's heat pump. I mean, read the lease, people, read the fine detail, read the fine print, and know your numbers. Know your numbers, man. Can't go past that. Yeah, and it's hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah,
that's probably the hardest for me. Being on my feet and creative and all that all day. Yeah, watching the numbers, but again, just having good people around me. So, yeah.
Can I just applaud you on the numbers? Because a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I've got an accountant, so my accountant will look after all of that for me." But yeah, I'm still running my own business and I can't be over every single thing in your business. Like, I'm not checking it every day, let's be real. But when we went through the first lockdown with you and, we taught you how to do the cash forecasting and budgeting and stuff, and then you were on top of it, you make decisions like right at the click of a finger because you knew exactly where your business was at. You weren't waiting for your accountant to give you the numbers or,
Oh, no way. Yeah. And I love learning those things. I love, I do love Xero. It's not perfect, and there's things about it that, I'd like to probably see changed, but I'm really one dude, man. Come on. But I love the little sessions that I have with you guys. I've started. I'm better at asking for help these days too. Yeah, I ask you guys for help. I ask, the timely support desk who run our booking software. I just ask everyone, rather than I don't know whether it was just me or whatever, but I'd be too afraid to ask the landlord for things. Oh, stuff it, man. I'm just too busy to muck around with this stuff. I'd rather just, oi, I need this, get it done. And you know what, people, you got to pay for it sometimes, but if you let that stuff hang, it costs you twice as much later on to fix, or just time wasted. So it's inefficient. Yeah. You got to pay for it. Yeah. Move fast.
Pay for it and think, well, I'll get them to do that and I'll just do what I'm really good at and I'll earn the money doing that.
Yeah. Exactly. Stick to making your money and get other people to do that, what you need. I'm quite happy to outsource things now. Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't have all the answers. I'm not the bloody, I can't fix everything. I'm terrible with tools anyway. So I'd rather get someone else to do it and do it fast. And if it's not to my liking, then I get to tell them off. And, I want it done like this. Paying for it. But yeah, well, better than telling myself off or wrecking it and then having to pay someone to fix it. So, yeah.
And sometimes that costs more
to
get someone to fix your mistakes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, someone's just asked the question, what values do you uphold in your business life?
You know what? That's a real good question, Whānau, because that's that foundational stuff going forward. To me, people, I really value people. and my staff. So their well-being is, I take that personally. I am seriously going through that whole kōrero right now about those foundational sort of documents. I know we talk, people call them mission statements or all of that stuff, but yeah, that's the one I want to put a Māori lens on and reshape and reform. Manaakitanga, that's my highest, man, manaakitanga, and that's my business too, is looking after people so everybody gets greeted. Nobody comes into our shop without being greeted. To me, that's just how I was brought up. That's how we treat people on the marae or in our home, and that's just good manners. As my nanny would say, that's good manners. So yeah, we just greet people, and from there start with hello or kia ora, and then we can get them in the chair and show them what we do. Yeah.
And even those of us who are there just to sit and wait for our husbands to get their haircuts, we get greeted and loved too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like to me, it's just bad manners. It stink when you walk into a shop or anywhere, any establishment, and nobody greets you. And you're like, come on, man, I'm here. I'm waiting. I can see you fellas standing around doing this. I'm like, hurry up, I'm here, man. Yeah. And even if we're fully booked, like we have been all week, we're fully booked. People come in and it's always, hey, welcome, kia ora, welcome to the Gentry. Would you like an appointment? They're like, oh, I don't have an appointment. Can I get one now? I'm like, well, actually, we're busy right now, but we'd love to see you at 2:30 or 3:30. Can you make it? And when you give people that option, most of them will book in, or they'll take a card and book online. But it's all backwards when, first of all, you don't get greeted, and then you ask, can I get a haircut? And they say no. Well, yeah. I'm walking out. You've like, just shut me down. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Even care about me.
Yeah, exactly. I was squeezed in 2 haircuts today, and I've rebooked them. I've made myself late, lost my lunch break, but that's what we do. We just look after people. Yeah.
That's cool, Adrian. Well, look, hey, thank you so much for this kōrero tonight. It's been really enlightening. I love speaking to you. You've got so much to share and tell, and there's just so much that people can learn from you. And again, just really want to, just to say how inspiring you are and how awesome it is for you to speak out around mental health. And, like I said before, particularly for our tāne. I think that's really, really, really important. So Adrian from the Gentry, everybody, he has a smooth haircut. I'm assuming he doesn't cut his own hair, no. But if you want to book a session, thegentry.co.nz, you can go in and book in with either Adrian or one of his barbers, one of his teammates, either in Commercial Bay or on Shortland Street. So, and if you know my husband, Ali goes there, gets his haircut every 4 weeks, unless he's in lockdown, in which case then he gets to you as soon as he can, because it looks terrible otherwise. So yeah, best barber I'd have to say, probably in the country, but yeah. So tomorrow night I am speaking with Heria from Kids Korowā. You probably have seen her all over social media, particularly on Instagram. So another wahine tour. I'll be speaking with her at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Kapu Tī with WE. So I shall see you there. And once again, Adrian, thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Cool. Kia ora. Thank you, Wendy.
You're welcome. Mā te wā whānau.
Bye-bye.